Previous class, actually, morely we are talking about how we can create a VPC, right? Just this VPC, just VPC we have created with help of the Terraform, and we have created internet gateway. I means internet gateway. This we have attached it to the VPC, and we have created route table. So this route table we have attached to the internet gateway. Again, we have created a subnet. So this subnet we have attached to the route table. So these are all those things we have performed with help of the Terraform, right? So with help of the Terraform code, so we have performed these all those things. Now we want to create EC2 instance. So we want to create EC2 instance. Now then we need to access this EC2 instance. Then EC2 instance we need to like deploy some index.html. So index.html, then that we can able to access from internet. So this thing we need to see today, like how we can create EC2 instance with help of the Terraform. Existing VPC, in existing VPC, how we can create the EC2 instance, then how we can able to access that content in the EC2 instance. So that is the our today main thing. So before going to the practicals, so already you know like this one. So amateur document. Then if you open this GitHub link, so a DevOps amateur document link. So in this, just if you go for EC2 existing VPC, here I have mentioned some files like main.tf and setup.sh and variable.tf and index.html. So if you observe this one, so if you go to the main.tf, here we have a content like this I will explain the step by step. So usually if you want to create EC2 instance, then we are mentioning the is resources AWS instance, that you know, right? Just how we can create a EC2 instance. Like, so maybe I didn't cover the previous class and how to create EC2 instance with a Terraform. So here this resource we are using to create the Terraform. So resource, then AWS underscore instance, then if you want to create an EC2 instance, we require the AMI. AMI means like Amazon Mission Image. For any EC2 instance, it will backend required one OS, like either maybe a CentOS, a Red Hat. So which type of AMI we are using, that we need to mention, and what type of instance we are using. Then usually while creating an instance, actually, then we are required what we are required, just we are required key pair, right? Just while creating the EC2 instance, then we are using the key pair, right? So we require the key pair, key name. Then obviously security group is also required, which ports we are going to allow to access the instance. That security group we need to attach, as well as subnet, in which subnet we are going to create instance, right? So subnet ID. Then do you want to create a public IP address or not? That we need to mention. So these all like line number 40 to 48, which is mainly to create EC2 instance. Okay. This class, our aim is just to create a server like EC2 instance in existing VPC subnet. So here we are using the existing subnet. So whatever we have created existing subnet, that we have mentioned here, existing subnet. Then here this one is a security group, so we require a security group, right? So for example, whenever we are creating EC2 instance, there we have a security group, right? In that security group we are mentioning the which ports we are need to open, right? So here we are mentioning 80 port we need to open, at the same time 22 port we need to open, like 80 port is to access the application, 22 port is to connect the servers. So actually SSH 22 port is mainly you are using to connect the server, right? So 22 port as well as Ingress rules where ingress is nothing but inbound connection. Ingress is nothing but inbound. Inbound means connecting. Those who want, those users who want to connect the server, like to connect the server, ingress rules. From server to internet, if you want to download anything, then egress. So that's why we have mentioned completely egress. We are completely allow. So means server can able to download any package from the internet. So here what we are understanding like egress ingress terms. So ingress means incoming connection to the server. So egress means outgoing connection from the server. So for example, it is a server. So a person try to access the server, then ingress rules is main. In ingress rules, we need to open the 80 port and 22 port, right? So for example, from server, it try to connect the internet. It try to connect the internet. Then egress rules we need to use. Like in egress, we have to mention. So we need to connect from all internet. So yeah, that's why in ingress rules, we need to open. By default, ingress rules will be open, right? So in ingress. So if you want to connect the server, then we require the egress rules. Ingress and egress. Ingress is nothing but inbound. Egress means outbound. Okay. So here, if you observe here, this is a resource name AWS security group, and this we can able to mention anything, doesn't matter. So what is the security group name we are mentioning? Usually security group is associated with the VPC. So we have taken the VPC ID. So in which VPC we have created a security group that we have mentioned VPC, and in which subnet we are creating instance that we are mentioning. So I will show you like this VPC ID, which one we need to keep, and with this subnet ID, which one we need to keep. Like if you go to the our my AWS account, then if you go to VPC, in VPC, if you go to prod VPC, this is this one is VPC ID, right? F2EBA. So this one is a VPC ID. So this VPC ID I have mentioned here. F2 F2EB, right? F2EB. F2EB. Okay. So you have to take this and you have to create in your local EC2 hyphen existing VPC folder. You have to create and create one main.tf. There you have to mention these all those things. In that you need to replace this one VPC ID with your VPC ID. VPC ID with your VPC ID, and here subnet with your subnet ID. So subnet with your subnet ID. So what you need to do is just here already I have created previously. So then this one I will remove this one again from the starting onwards. I will try to do the things. You can do the parallel. So for example, remove I EC2 hyphen existing VPC. Yeah, remove this one. I will create a new folder mkdir ec2 underscore existing. Yeah, folder name is your wish. You can mention like ec2 existing VPC or ec2 Hanu VPC or ec2 Tanvi VPC. Doesn't matter. Direct is your wish. You can able to do anything. Here, so then terraform Geetam, right? Just that one I will try to open here. Yeah, terraform Geetam folder. In this, we have existing VPC, right? These all you can existing VPC. So we'll close this one to avoid confusion. So now we have a existing VPC. In existing VPC folder, we don't have nothing. Then I will create a main.tf. Okay. In main.tf, simply I will copy this entire thing. Simply you can copy this entire thing. Entire thing, Control A, Control C, copy here and paste it here. So then again you can go and take this variable.tf, variable.tf, Control A. Yeah, then you can create one more file like variable.tf. So we can paste it. That's fine, right? Variable.tf and this main.tf. Again, you have to create one more file, that is a setup.sh. Create setup.sh file. Setup.sh. So in setup.sh, you can mention these all those things. Just Control A, Control C, paste it. Again, we require the index.html. I will explain these all those things. Don't bother. Just you can create one more index.html. So Control C. I will create index.html. Index.html. Then you can paste. Okay. Yeah, you can do all those things whatever I have done as of now. Then you can do parallelly. So then now I will do the things. Just I will explain the things. So now what, as of now, like I will explain in main.tf. So here this is a resource. This one is a resource to create the AWS underscore instance, means EC2 instance. Then what about this line number 52, line number 52, line number 83? What these all those things? So yeah, I will explain one by one. So first, before this null resource, just I will explain here the connection. So here when we create, for example, so we have a written a terraform code here, terraform code, so for example main.tf or whatever it is. So we have created this one, created ec2 instance in AWS. So in AWS we have created ec2 instance. So we have created ec2 instance. So simply to create this ec2 instance, only this one is enough. Like for example, to create ec2 instance, this piece of code is enough. To create ec2 instance, only this piece of code is enough. And to connect the server, this one is enough. To connect the server, like to create the VP's ec2 instance, and for security groups, this one is enough. But what about this one is to connect the server? If we want to connect the server, then obviously we require the user, right? We need to access key, like PEM keys are required, public and private keys are required. Even if we are creating the EC2 instance, we are creating one server, right? One key, right? So here also, here this connection is nothing but to connect the server. After creating this EC2 instance, the Terraform will connect with the help of the SSH. SSH is a protocol to connect the server. So with user EC2-user, it will connect. Here AWS underscore instance server dot public IP means whenever we created this EC2 instance with help of the Terraform itself, it will fetch the public IP of the EC2 instance and connect that particular server with help of this .ssh id underscore RSA. So I will explain what is a .ssh id underscore RSA. This is a private key to connect the server. This one is a private key to connect the server. To connect the server, It is a private key. So with the help of this private key, it will connect. It will connect. So here, whenever we created a this key pair automatically here, if you observe key pair, right? So this key pair, whenever we are creating a EC2 instance, we are mentioning some key pair. So even in UI itself, when you created a EC2 instance, we selected one key, right? So similar like here, while creating the server, we are using this key pair. So in which server key name, like dev mhr instance key, right? Dev mhr instance key, that is the key name. So we need to use that key, this dev mhr, sorry, this one, dev mhr instance key. So here we need to mention the public, one is a public key and another one is a private key. So where this public key and private key is available is public key file in our local where we are running in our terraform code. Maybe it will bit a confusion, then I will tell you just practically, give me some time. So here the public key file in this particular, in the particular dot ssh, we have a id underscore rsa public key we have. So it will take the public key. Corresponding public key, we have a private key is also there. This private key we are using to connect the server. So if we want to connect any server, we require the public key as well as a private key. For better understanding, for example, if you're okay, usually, for example, if you're creating a ec2 instance, so if you want to connect this one, usually we require public key and private key. For example, in our lab tab, you should have a private key. We should have a private key. So we should have private key and corresponding public key you should have in instance. Here we have a public key, right? So when we have a public key and private key, then only we can able to connect this one, right? So when you have a private key, corresponding public key, then only we can able to create. Similar like here, the situation is also same. So here already we have mentioned the private public key here, corresponding private key we are mentioned. So where we have this private key and public keys means in my laptop I have a private key and public key. So in your case, so how you can get the private key or public key means I will tell you how you can generate the public and private keys. Okay. So that is the actually how we can connect the server. So once connect the server, it will happen like, so index.html, it will copy to the home ec2 user index.html. Here it is nothing but the server. After creating this ec2 instance, then the terraform itself, it will copy setup.sh to the this particular location of ec2 server, and this one to the particular server. Okay. So and after that the some script will, this script will be executed. So this all those things I will tell you one by one. So first, actually, for better clarification, just I will already I have created, right, these all files. Then ec2 I ec2 existing vpc here. So in main.tf, in main.tf, in main.tf, So I will remove this one. Just maybe later I will add this some provision. Two provisioner files are there, right? So I will remove one provisioner file. I will add later just for clarification purpose. So how the provisioner files and these all those things will affect. So I will remove this provisioner file first. I will add later that provisioner file. Previously at whatever I have in GitHub, so that I have copied here. So just only I have removed that provisioner file. So now what we need to just in your case, you can go and do SSH-keygen. So for example, if you go for my CD tilt, if you go CD tilt means it will go to the home directory. So presently CD tilt means I am in home directory. In your case, you are in your home directory. Here, if you type ls-lart, you have a .ssh folder. In your case also, maybe if you have a SSH keys, then you have a .ssh folder. So in my case, .ssh folder, this one, right? I have already id underscore rsa as well as id underscore rsa dot pub. So both things are available in my case. So even this will be created in 2024. So for your case, just for understanding betterly, now again I will create the this public and private keys. So then we'll see. So here how we can create a public and private keys. Just you can how to create id underscore rsa pub and private, like public and private keys. So how we can create id underscore rsa. Very simple. Just you can here it will clearly. So how we can create the id underscore rsa pub private and so when you mention ssh hyphen keygen, then automatically it will create a private and public key. So then simply here if you go and now right now you can try to do the same. Then where you are, for example, here, yeah, if you mention cd tilt, so you cd tilt, then it will go to the data particular data that particular this location where the no, in this location you are, for example, cd tilt. If you mention cd tilt, then you are in home location of your computer. Now here you are just type ssh hyphen keygen. So ssh hyphen keygen if I type, then enter. It will ask like enter file which to save the key. So I here I want to save in this location only. User Anu Medikonda only I have saved. Simply you can mention enter. Here already ID underscore RSA. Here this one is ID underscore ED dot, but we want generate public and private keys id underscore rsa pub we require. So yeah, one minute. Yeah, now new process actually, yes, specifically you need to mention actually what happened is in new format it will in new format it will not generate id underscore rsa pub. So until unless we are not specifying. So in new generation, previously ssh hyphen keygen if you mention it will create, but in new process you specifically you need to mention. So then you can mention anything like this.
Sir, after SSH keygen, I'm getting enter passphrase.
Yeah, no. Actually, fast pace you are getting. So you do the control C. Again, you can do, you can mention like this. SSH hyphen keygen hyphen T RSA. I will paste this one in your chart. You can use there. You can mention any dummy mail ID or your mail ID. Doesn't matter. So here you can mention your dummy mail ID or your own mail ID. Doesn't matter. So I will mention. Yeah, actually it will give right SSH hyphen keygen hyphen T RSA hyphen B 4096. So when you enter this one, you will get like this. So enter file to save. So yes, you can type enter, simply enter, nothing to just you can pass pair, don't enter anything pass pair. You can enter, that's it. Don't enter pass pair. So enter file, which save to key file. Yes, this location only. Again enter. So do you want to override? Yes. Why? Because already I have a file, right? IDRSA file September 19th I have created. So already IDRSA pub is there. So I want to replace that one. So S. So enter pass pair. So simply enter, enter. That's it. Then if you observe like ls-lart in .ssh folder, if you go ls-lart, previously, okay, this IDRSA pub. Previously, IDRSA pub, when it is created, when it was created, IDRS September 19th, 2024. Now this, now if you observe like here IDRSA pub, now only it will create January 10th, June 10th, June 10th. So now one thing is clear, how we can generate public key and private key. So is it clear now just how we can get the public key and private key? This public key and private key. So how we are getting the public key and private key? That is clear, right? Any doubt as of now?
No, sir.
Yeah. So this already we have done, right? Just you have completed this one, for example. So this one already you have created a directory. In this directory, you have created these all files, right? You have created a directory in your local laptop and you have copied these all those. You have created a files and you have copied the content in these files. Is it done or any doubt in this? Have you done this one? Created a directory. In this, simply create a main.tf file and copy this main.tf content into that particular file. That completed or not? If you're not, just complete that 4 steps.
Completed, sir.
Yeah, completed, right? So now I will do the terraform init. You can also do the terraform init. So it is terraform. Okay. A terraform init. Yeah, here actually we are not mention our state file will be stored in this S3 storage bucket. That's why empty initialized plugin we are getting.
Sir, should we change our VPC ID and all?
Yeah, you can change. My case, I have changed, right? In your case, you have to change. In your case, here you can mention your VPC ID. In which VPC you want to create. Here you can,
Only that, sir.
yeah, this VPC ID and only the subnet ID. The remaining you can keep as it is. There is no issue. The subnet ID, you can keep your subnet ID in whatever the VPC you are taking. In that only you have to take subnet. In whatever the VPC you have taken, in that only we have to take one subnet. You have created already VPC, right? Just you can take that same VPC. Then in that particular VPC only subnet is also there, right? So you can take that one.
PRD subnet, sir.
Yeah, if you created previously prod VPC, in same prod VPC you have prod subnet. Yes.
Okay, sir. No need to change name, sir.
Yeah, if you want, just you can change. There is a no problem. Like even if you change the name, there is a no problem. Yeah, you can able to change. No issue. The name doesn't matter. Like for example, if you want to change, for example, this any name in here, for example, in variable.tf. So if you want to change for instead of name MHR dev MHR security group, you can mention like prod Tanvi or commonly instance like that.
Okay, sir.
Here in the variable.tf also, I have changed these things like instead of dev MHR security group, that is a wrong line. Then I will mention prod MHR instance. Have you done that one? Then once that done, then I have done the terraform in it. Then you can able to run anytime, multiple times. There is a no problem to run multiple times a terraform in it. It is a no issue. Yeah, now I will do the terraform plan. Yeah, that's fine. Then I will do the terraform apply. Yes. Actually, what it will do, first it will create the EC2 instance. After that, it will copy the files into the existing EC2 instance. It will create EC2 instance, Terraform itself. It will create EC2 instance. After that, it will connect that EC2 instance. If you observe the step by step, again, it will connect the existing instance, which is just created by the Terraform. Then it will connect. There it will again install some packages like what packages it will try to install. This it will execute this particular script. What it happen in if you go to the main.tf, so what it will initially it will create a ec2 instance. After that it will connect that particular ec2 instance. Then it will copy this particular setup.sh from our local wherever we run that. Then it will copy to the setup.sh. After that it will execute this particular script, setup.sh script. It will execute this setup.sh script. It will execute like here. If you observe the remote executor, so in interviews also, what is the remote executor? So remote executor means if you want to execute any script or any commands in the server which is created by the terraform, so then it will connect that particular server, just whatever the server we have created. It will connect the through keys, RSA key, private key. Then after connecting the server with remote executor provisioner, then it will execute this script. Script is nothing but the number of steps which you have mentioned in a shell script, then that will execute. Actually, this is a shell script setup.sh. If you go to setup.sh, here setup.sh is nothing but here this script what it will do is first it will execute mupdate y. You know mupdate y, mupdate means update all packages. So it will update the all packages. After that it will install the http server. So httpd it will install. After that, it will start the HTTPD. Then it will enable the HTTPD. Then it will copy the index.html. These all steps we are not manually doing. Then when you run the script, this script, automatically this all steps will be running one by one. It will execute one by one. First it will execute, after complete it will execute this one. Like a scripting is nothing but the number of steps if you are mentioning in a particular file, then if you run that particular file, the steps executed one by one. So maybe if you want to create a directory, in that if you want to create another directory, those steps if you mention in particular file, if you run that particular file, it will do all those. In this case we are mentioning these all steps, then it will do one by one. If you observe here, it will do the one by one. First, again here it will connect the server, and again it will update the update, these all those things. Yeah, now it will do the null resource. So I will explain exactly what is the null resource, then how it will affect just after creating this entire EC2 instance. Then I will explain again these all steps. Then it will clear to you. It take I think now if you observe, it will installing the packages. It will take some time to complete this all those things. As of now, are you facing any issue, or still you are also getting the same steps?
I'm still creating the public key, sir.
You are also in this stage only, right?
No, sir. I mean, my public key isn't working properly, so I'm creating again.
Yeah, maybe after completion of this, then I will ask you to share and we'll do.
What to do after creating, sir?
No, no, yeah, you are telling like after public and private key and after that,
After Terraform plan.
yeah, Terraform apply, right? Have you this Terraform apply, right? We are doing this. Yeah, you can do the Terraform apply, then same process like to do Terraform init and Terraform apply this. Now I have done the Terraform apply, right? So Terraform apply. Just you can do the Terraform apply. The Terraform apply, it will create EC2 instance. I think so. Some yeah. If you observe, like I have removed the this index.html, then that's why it will show some error. So the no such file and so in the script itself it will show some error. So yeah, maybe still the remaining things are created or it is failing is only particular stage. We'll see that particular EC2 instance is created or not. Yeah, I will connect the server. Like yeah, I will check like EC2 instance, right? I have mentioned instance name is fraud MHR instance, something like that. So is it created or not? It will throw an error. So if you observe like already prod MHR instance already created. So if you observe like prod, but it will throw an error, but in which stage only some installing index.html, that stage it will throw an error. The remaining all steps are completed. So it will created already instance, MHR instance it will created. So then we can able to connect this one, right? If you can able to connect this one, now I can able to connect simply if you select here and connect, then if you copy this one, go to your git bash, go to your git bash and paste it here. The thing is just here this pem key is not required, even if it doesn't required. Why? We already our key private key is already available in our local, that is in .ssh folder. .ssh folder public key is available. So then private keys are like private keys available in our system, then public keys already we have added. So if you do like this, then automatically it will connect. So S, it's automatically it will connect. The key is not required. Sir, why we key is not required? It's already available in .ssh folder. Then if it is available, key is available in .ssh folder, it's automatically identified. In our .ssh folder, private key is also there. While creating server, we have already mentioned the public key. So take public key from my server, my location, from my location. Here I am mentioned clearly. So while creating the server itself, take the public key. Take the public key. If you observe here, take the public key. Public key in .ssh folder idrsa pub. So when you run this all script in my local, it will automatically take the public key from my local lab tab. So then it will key. So now we can able to connect. But what about this error means? Usually when I hit this IP in UI, then I need to get some site actually, some message. So if you go to this public IP, if I hit here, then I need to get some content actually, but now it is not working. So some error I am getting, right? So if we fix that one, then usually Red Hat by default Red Hat page will come, but usually it is not a we are expecting some content in index.html. We have a some content actually in index.html. We have a some content. This content we need to get. So we have removed previously that line actually. So initially, actually, I thought that it is not required, but say some dependence will be there. So I will add that one here again. That profile part I will add this profile part you can add. Why? Because in script actually it is expecting this index.html. That's why script is failing actually. In script actually it will expecting that particular index.html. In script it will expecting index.html. That is the problem. So I will add the index.html here. Yeah. Then again, if you do the terraform in the plan and all, then we can get the site. Terraform plan. Terraform plan is not mandate. Yeah, actually, these null resources will happen whatever. Then only that particular null resources, that particular part will be removed whenever you do the Terraform plan and apply. Then automatically that null resources will be deleted. Actually, what happened here? This main null resources in interview point of view also. What is this null resources will do? So whenever we do the Terraform apply, so it will not do any changes in the server itself. Only these null resources will do. Actually, for example, if you do some changes in index.html, so it will actually delete this null resource and again it will create. So again it will create means again the script will execute actually. Previously, what happened in the script, we have missed something, right? For example, in setup.sh previously this file we have added, but that is not available here. So we do some changes. So again that will replicate in this. Then we need to again this null resource will again recreated. So I will explain again. It will clear to you after this one. Then I will do some changes again. What it will do, I will explain. So now this null resource again, what will happen? This script will executed again with null resource. So then now I will do the Terraform apply. Yes. This null resource part will be destroyed and again it will create means only that particular script only we connect the VM and execute the particular script only do again the remaining instance as it is it will be there. So now if you go and refresh our this page, then you will get exact what we are expecting. So my name is Hanu Medikonda, Cloud DevOps Engineer. So this one. So what we have done is today class, just here this script, whatever the script actually which we are using. So here this will be to creating EC2 instance in where in existing our VPC, not general VPC. In our subnet, it will create an instance. So after creating the instance, it will connect. So it will connect from the private key. This private key is already available in my local laptop. Like in your case, your lab. After that, what it will do, we have a setup.sh file. So that will copy to the home EC2 server. So home, like in server, home EC2 hyphen user directory is there. After creating this server, so it will copy setup.sh. Setup, what is a setup.sh? So setup.sh is already available in my directory. So what it will do is this setup.sh file will copy to the server. In server, which location home ec2 hyphen user it will. Again, index.html is also available in my server, my local, this index.html. Then this is also copied to the home ec2 hyphen user. This all those things will be copied from your local laptop to server. So how it will copy to a server? Already we have connected here server, right? With the help of SSH key, we can connect the server. Once you can connect the server, after that, we can copy it, right? Just to already copy. Once we copy it, this script will execute. What this script will do, it will, that setup.sh script, it will install the web server and all those things it will do. So once this done, then we can able to see this site. Okay. So then, for example, here I want instead of Hanu Medikonda, then I want some other name, for example. Then I want to do. So how it will happen is simply we can go to the index.html. Here I will instead of Hanu, yeah, Kamilini, just instead of some name, whatever it is, right? So I will save this one again. If I do the terraform apply, so in without using this null resource concept. So if you are not using this null resource concept, whatever we have, if you are not mention this all part we can also execute without this null resource, this particular concept we can able to, but only this null resource, what it will happen is whenever we updated particular thing in the index.html or setup.html, when you do the terraform apply, when you do the setup.sh or index.html, any changes happen in these two files, when you do the terraform apply, again it will recreate, means it will re-execute, it will again execute the script again itself. That is only possible with null resource only. So if you are not mentioning null resource, it doesn't affect the existing instance. Only whatever the script, if you want to execute in that particular server, it will re-execute the script, the null resource. So now I will do the terraform apply. It will happen, it will recreate the null resource. So that means it will re-execute the script. Yeah, yes. Yeah, if you go and type like instance, then if you refresh, if you observe like Kamilini Geetam, right? So this is all about like how we can these things. Then yeah, this I will upload in my GitHub. So then you can able to